What's going on YouTube? This is UltimateiDevice and this is Tweak Recap, and if you're not familiar with the series, I rounded up 5 of the best Cydia tweaks that are currently available on Cydia, so let's begin. And the first tweak I'm going to show you guys is called Convergence. It's available on Cydia for $2.99, and this tweak basically is a complete lock screen replacement for your iOS device. So if I go to the lock screen on my device, you're going to see it's completely redesigned and it looks different. As you can see here, to unlock, you slide up just like this, and here's the passcode screen. And as you enter numbers or letters, as you can see, the X down there transforms into this arrow, and it's just very well designed. I'm personally a big fan of this tweak. It's just designed perfectly, and it works very well. And if we go back to the lock screen, there's a ton of other features. For example, if you swipe from left to right just like this, you have this toggles page with a brightness slider and a bunch of other useful controls, and we can slide back. And if you slide from right to left just like this, as you can see, you're going to have access to the camera just like that. And if you slide down from the top, you're going to have access to some really cool widgets just like this. As you can see right now, there's the calendar and weather widget, and you can just slide right back down to the normal screen. And now I'm going to show you guys what a notification looks like. If you guys do get a text message or iMessage on your lock screen using this tweak, this is what it is going to look like. And when you do get them, how it groups them is in these little bubbles just like this. And you tap on it, and then you can see the message just like that. And all you have to do is tap to reply. And there you go. You're going to be prompted to put in your passcode if you do have one. And you could also go ahead and just tap the icon to hide it just like that. And of course, if you receive more than one message, it's going to update that count. And you're going to be able to search through all your messages and scroll through them. So if I tap on this now, as you can see here, I can scroll through these two messages and tap the one I want to tap. So as soon as I tap it, and then I put in my passcode, which is 1234, and then it's going to open me right to the message just like this. And as you can see here, I've actually been playing with this tweak a lot. And anyways, we'll go back to the lock screen now, so I'll exit out and go back to the lock screen. And I'll show you guys some of the widgets. So if I go down to the widgets, pull down just like this. For the calendar widget, I could just tap on each day just like this and view if I do have any events for that particular day. And it does show, as you can see here, 5 days. Just like that, and then it's going to show you the weather down here, and that's very useful. You could scroll down a little bit and see some more information, and we'll go back. And as far as what you just get directly when you install it, that pretty much covers it. However, if you go into the settings app on your device, there are some more settings you can configure, and I'm going to show you guys those. So if you go into settings on your device and scroll down until you do see Convergence, and once you found it, just go in there, and inside you do have a kill switch, so you could enable or disable the tweak right here. And the next thing is the theme. Now if you go in here, there are some themes to choose from. You have charcoal, conceptual, default, and then thin. And of course default's what it comes with. And the first one I'm going to show you guys is charcoal. So if we go to this one, and then I'll go to the lock screen and show you guys what's different. As you can see here, it's a lot grayer. The actual knob to unlock is a lot grayer. And also the grabbers for the camera and the toggles over here, they're a little bit hard to see just because of how dark this theme is. Just keep in mind, you don't actually have to hit these little knobs down here to access the camera and the toggles. You can just slide on the sides like this, and you're going to be able to access those as well. But because of how dark this theme is, it is a little bit hard to see. And on another note, as you can see, the toggles here themselves actually are darker too. They have this nice silvery tint to them. And the camera itself actually isn't affected, but again, this little grabber is. And as far as the actual widgets goes up here, that's not affected, of course, other than this little grabber down here. And I'll show you guys the next theme now. So the next one is the conceptual theme, and if we click on this, I'll go to the lock screen, and as you can see here, this one's significantly different. It has this arrow that you slide up that's kind of thin, as you can see right there when you slide it up. And it is a little bit hard to see on camera down here, but it is there. And the two grabbers are just two little arrows, as you can see right there and there. So you can slide over to the toggles page just like this, slide back, and then of course the camera as well. And that goes for the actual widgets up here as well, just like this. And that's pretty much it for that theme. It just has some cool icons, and the X is affected for the passcode as well. And I'll show you guys the next one, which is of course default, but you already saw that. So we'll go on to thin, and now we'll go to the lock screen. And as you can see here, this one's very similar to the previous one, however it's just a little bit more minimalist. As you can see here, it's just a nice circle with an arrow, and there are two little circles on the side for the grabbers, just like that. And it just looks very good. This is personally my favorite theme out of all of them. I just like the way that it looks, and it's just very nice and minimal. And of course the camera as well over here, and the X is affected as well. So that's it for the themes, and we'll go back, And of course down here, if you want to have thin fonts, you can enable or disable that. I'll disable it and show you guys what it's like without thin fonts. And as you can see here, it's a lot more bold, the clock up there and the date. And we will then enable it, and I'll show you guys again, just so you can see how it's different. There you go, it's a lot thinner there. And we'll move on to the next section, which is the background. So if you go into background here, you could customize the blur. As you can see here, I'll tone it down. I'll go to the lock screen. And as you can see here, it's a lot less blur. You could see more of the real wallpaper in the background. And I'll turn it down to nothing to show you guys what that looks like. As you can see here, there you go. And we'll put in the passcode. And just keep in mind with the passcode, as you saw there, even if the blur is completely down, as you can see, the passcode still has blur, just like that. And we'll unlock. And there you go. Again, the blur customization. I'll turn it back up to all the way at the top and then show you guys that. As you can see there, it's very blurry there. And there is the use HTML lock screen. However, I'm not going to get into that. That's a little bit more in depth. So we'll go back. And the next thing is the widgets. So if you go into widgets, you can customize which widgets are showing and which ones aren't. And you could hit edit and just drag these around. So for example, I'm going to have weather be first. And these two blank ones, just by the way, they're just dividers. So if you want to have a space in between widgets, as you can see here. So if I want a space in between weather and calendar, I could put that blank one in the middle. And then if I go into the widgets, as you can see there, there's this blank space with the area right there, with this white area. So if you want blank space, that's how you do it with those little blank ones. And again, you could just rearrange it. I'll put the RSS reader up here as well, and then I'll get rid of these spaces. I'll just drag them into disabled. Then we'll go to the lock screen, and we'll go to the toggles, or sorry, the widgets page. And just like that, as you can see there, I have all this stuff available to me. There's the RSS reader I could scroll through, and of course the weather and calendar, just like that. And we'll put in the passcode, and we'll just go back. And the next option are the toggles. Of course, you could customize that as well. If we go into toggles, you could drag in and out, enable and disable, just like this. So if I don't want one of these, I could hide them. And I could drag things up and order them just however I want to. I'll put respring at the top because I am always using that. So then we'll go to the lock screen, and again, to access the toggles, you just slide over from left to right, just like this, and there you go, respring is now first. So we'll unlock, and we'll just go back out of here. And the next option is the album artwork, and you can choose whether it is full screen, medium, or mini. So by default, I'm going to show you guys what it looks like on full screen. So if we go into the music app, I'll start playing a song. Okay, so now we're going to go to the lock screen. And as you can see here, it does have this nice full album artwork zoomed into the background, or blurred into the background, I should say, just like that. There you go. So I'll put in the passcode, and now I'm going to change it up. So I'll go back into settings now, and I'll change it to medium, just like this. Then we'll go to the lock screen. And as you can see here, it's just this picture in the middle, just like that. It's medium. And we'll go back into settings. And then we'll change it to mini, and that's the last option. So we'll go to the lock screen now. And as you can see here with the mini, for some reason there's just nothing here. Maybe that's how it's intended to be, or maybe it's a problem, but if it is an issue, hopefully the developer will fix it soon. But as of right now, I'm just not seeing anything for mini, but maybe that's how it's intended to be. I'm not sure. But anyways, I do recommend you do keep it on medium. That's just my personal favorite. And we'll go back, and the next option is the battery percent. So if I enable that on the lock screen now, in the upper right hand corner, you're going to notice I do have the percentage as opposed to the little red or green squiggle that's normally there using this tweak. And that's actually really cool, especially if you have an iPod Touch and there's no battery percentage. That's just a way to get it. And the next option is for advanced users, so I'm just going to skip that. And that's pretty much it for this tweak. It's a very good tweak. And there is just one problem I do want to address. For example, when I'm on the lock screen, you may have noticed this several times. And you do unlock, you slide up, and I put in my passcode here. And as you can see there, there's this delay right before it enters into the home screen after I put in my passcode. So again, as soon as I enter my passcode, there's this small delay before it opens up to the home screen. So if I put it in, and I'll put in the last digit, and as you can see there, there's that small delay time. And hopefully the developer will fix that, but as of right now, that's just one problem I have with this tweak. And if you guys don't have a passcode, you're still going to have this issue. So for example, right now, I just disabled the passcode, and if I slide up, it's still going to have that delay just like that. You can see it's just a small delay, but it is there. But again, hopefully the developer will fix that. It's just a small problem, but I just hope that it is fixed in the future. And again, this tweaks Convergence. It's available in Cydia for $2.99. The next tweak I'm going to show you guys is called Slices. It's available in Cydia for $1.99. And this tweak allows you to create several different profiles for App Store apps on your device. So for example, if you want to have 2 accounts for Instagram or Facebook, because those apps don't allow you to have multiple accounts, this tweak will allow you to do that. Or maybe you have a game that you want to have several different scores in, this tweak will allow you to do that. So basically this allows you to run several different versions of the same app on your device with different data inside each. So once you have installed it on your device, you just go into settings on your device and scroll down until you do see slices. And once you found it, go in there. And of course you can enable or disable the tweak at the top. And if you go into applications, here are my user apps that I have installed on my device. Now I'm going to be using podcasts as an example. So of course right now, just normally inside the podcasts app, I did subscribe to just a random podcast to show you guys this right here, photography tips and tricks. So as you can see, this is my current normal app state. I'm subscribed to that one podcast. But let's say I wanted to make a new profile for that app. If I go into settings and into the podcasts, by default, of course, the default slice is selected, as you can see right there. And there is an ask on touch option, so it could ask you which slice you want to go into or which profile you want to go into as soon as you open it, and I'll show you guys that later. But first I'm going to show you guys just how to get it set up. So as you can see, there are no slices, and the first time you do hit create slice, this is going to be the current slice that you have. So I recommend that you do name it current just so you don't get confused. CURRENT, then hit create. So there you go. As you can see, default slice, now it says current because that's the default one. So now if you want to make another slice, you just hit create slice again, and I'm going to type in test right now for that one, then I'll hit create slice. So you could choose between them. If you go into default slice, you could click between them, and as I said before, current is the one that I'm currently on right now. So if I go in here, as you can see, there you go, there's my photography podcast. Now if I want to switch to the other profile that I made, which is a fresh profile because I just created it, I'll go into podcasts, default slice, then I'll click on test, and once that's on, if I go into the podcasts app directly afterwards, as you can see here, this is going to be a fresh slice. As you can see here, it's asking me the initial setup questions, like if it wants me to sync across my devices. So I'll just click don't sync, and there you go, no podcasts. So now I can switch back to the other profile. I can switch in between them, just right like this. Go back to current, and I'll go back into the podcasts app, and there you go, I'm back to my normal state with photography. So as you can see, you could switch between app profiles really easily. However, it does get even easier than that. So if I enable inside podcasts ask on touch, now as soon as I touch the app, it's going to ask me which profile I want to use. So as soon as I tap it, there you go. As you can see there, current and test, I can just click whichever one I want to log into. So again, I can go to current, which is the normal one with the podcast that I subscribe to, and then I can go to my next one, test. There you go, no podcast. That's the fresh slice. And of course I could also create a new slice right from here if I wanted to. If I click this, I can make a new slice. I'll call this one test 2, hit create, and there you go, I have a fresh slice once again. So it's just a really cool tweak. Again, you're able to create several different versions of the same app on your device and switch between them really easily, whether it be from the Ask on Touch or just in the Settings app. It's a really cool tweak. Again, it's called Slices. It's available in Cydia for $1.99. And the next tweak I'm going to show you guys is called All Mail Actions. It's available in Cydia for free. And this tweak basically allows you to move all and delete all emails from any folder in the Mail app on your device. So for example, as you can see, if I click edit, I could trash all, so delete all or remove all right from the inbox folder. And normally you can't delete all from the inbox folder. You can only do that from the trash folder. And of course move all as well. You can move it to any of these folders, as you can see right here, and it just works very well. Again, you get that extra functionality in the Mail app, and it is available for free in Cydia. Again, it's called All Mail Actions. And the next tweak I'm going to show you guys is called SmartTap. It's available in Cydia for $1.99. And this tweak allows you to wake up your device when it's in complete black mode, just like this, complete sleep, by double tapping on the screen, just like that. And there you go. As you can see, it just woke up, and I could slide to unlock. And that's the primary function of the tweak. However, there are some settings you can configure. So if you go into the Settings app on your device and scroll down until you do see SmartTap, you could go in there. And of course, at the top, you can enable or disable the tweak. And there are some settings. So the first one is when screen is off, and that's double tap screen. And in here you can have it so it does nothing, of course, or turns the screen on, and that's what it's on right now, unlocks the device, or launches a certain app. So you can click on launch application, then you could choose from all the apps on your device and choose which one it launches. So first I'm going to show you the unlocked device, and I'll go to the lock screen. So here I am. I just tap my screen twice, and there you go, it unlocks. Now as you can see, it did take a few tries. Sometimes that does happen, so double tap, and as you can see there, it's not doing anything. It does take a few tries, just like that. And maybe that's just a bug with this tweak. Hopefully that will be fixed, but again, I'll try it one more time. Double tap, and as you can see, it doesn't work. You have to just continuously tap for a few seconds, and then it starts working. And next, I'm going to show you guys launch applications. So if we click on this, again, we have that list of all the apps that we have on our device. And I'm going to choose messages right now. So I'll click on messages, and there you go, it's checked on launch app. So now if we put our device to sleep, and then I'll double tap. And again, I just have trouble with this gesture for some reason. It takes a few more tries. But as you see there, it just launched the messages app, no problem. And I've actually found that it's consistently 3 taps I have to do. I don't know why. And again, 2 just doesn't seem to work that well for me. I'll do it again. See 2, and then 3. And then it seems to work fine. I'm not sure what that is, but anyways, we'll go back in settings, and we'll go back, and the next option is swipe up from bottom. And as of right now, it's unlock device. So if I show you that, I'll lock my device, swipe up from the bottom, unlock. And again, you could have those same options where it's just to turn on the screen, no action, or of course you could have it so it launches another app. And of course, there's the same thing with swipe down to top. Same thing, you could choose through all these options, and by default there's actually no action on this, as you can see, but again, you could choose whichever one. I'll just show you turn on screen right now. So I'll swipe down from the bottom, and there you go, it turns on the screen. So I just wanted to show you what those gestures are. And we'll go back. And as you can see, the next option is when screen is on, you could double tap the home screen to lock the device. So if I just double tap the home screen just like this, there you go, it locks my device. And you have to make sure you don't hit any icons, because of course it's going to open those. So if I try to do that, for example on Game Center, obviously it's going to open it. So you have to make sure you hit in between the icons like that, or just in any blank spot on your home screen. So we'll go back in settings, and of course you could disable that there or enable it. And the next thing is the Smart Touch Detection. Now this is pretty interesting. So basically what this feature does, it ensures that your device will not false detect touches while in your pocket or any other place. So I do recommend you do leave this on. And the next option is the Prevent Idle Sleep. And basically the whole function of this tweak is, again, to be able to double tap or slide up on your device when it's completely asleep like this, to be able to wake it up or unlock it. And of course, in order for that to work, the device never fully goes to sleep. So with this on, again, Prevent Idle Sleep, it's going to prevent it from fully sleeping, so the whole tweak works. However, if your battery life's really bad, because again, your device is never fully going to sleep, you could disable this. But if you do disable it, just keep in mind, after a few minutes of the device going to sleep, it's not going to receive touches, so you're going to have to press the home button or the lock button to wake the device up. So I do recommend you keep this on if you're going to use this tweak, because that is, again, a primary function of the tweak. And the last option is speak events under accessibility. So if we enable this, it's going to speak all the events that happen. So if I go to the lock screen, and then I'll slide up to unlock.
Swipe up from bottom detected. Unlocking device.
There you go. As you can see, it speaks the event. So again, if I do the double tap, which I currently have set to the launching of the Messages app.
Double tap detected. Launching messages.
There you go, just like that. So again, it speaks those events if you want to have it do that. And again, this tweak is called SmartTap. It's available in Cydia for $1.99. The next tweak I'm going to show you guys is called Stride 2. It's available in Cydia for $2.99. And this tweak allows you to unlock your device on iOS 7 using cool gestures. So basically, it's just a pattern lock. You could set your own custom pattern in order to unlock your device. And just keep in mind, after you do install it, you'll need to set a normal passcode in the Settings app. So just go into Settings on your device, General, then Passcode Lock, and you're going to need to create a passcode lock if you don't already have one. I'm just going to set one for 1234, 1234. Okay, so now I have my normal passcode set. And after this is set up, we could go back, and scroll down until you do see Stride. Now go in there, and then click Change Password. And once you're on here, you have to record the password. So I'm just going to do a line diagonally across the screen. And just click Save. And once that's done, we'll go to the lock screen. And now when we slide to unlock, you can see our password is just 1234. So we put that in once. And then after that, we go back to the lock screen. And then we slide to unlock. And there we go. We can now draw our password, which is just a diagonal line across. And just like that, as you can see, it unlocks. Now, it took me a few tries to get it. But again, you could get your password through this drawing method. So again, other methods, they don't work. Just like this. But again, only yours works. Just like that, and it works very well. And of course, you can change your password again if you want to do that, right there. And again, if you want to have it so it shows a green highlight, you could enable that. So now if I go to the lock screen, slide to unlock, you're going to see now when I draw it, it shows that green highlight when I unlock my device. And of course, you can enable or disable the tweak at the top as well. Again, this is called Stride 2. It's available in Cydia for $2.99. And that's all for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.